Hey, Paula. Howdy. You know, there's people, there's people, and then there's people. You know, we all know somebody like this. We all know the person that tells us that if we do something for them, it's going to benefit them and nobody else. Oh, well, just you wait, because something mighty nice is going to happen to you one of these days. Because you helped me. And just by doing that, you're favored like nobody else. We all know those type of people. They're called narcissistic. They're called self-centered. And oftentimes, certain kind of things can develop based on those characteristics. Kind of like greed. Greed, greed, greed. Our old friend and nemesis, greed. You know, when greed and the pulpit get together, if there ever was a union of such not so good things, there you would have it. Greed. Greed in the pulpit. Now let's preach. You know, there's people that sit around on TV apparently and say if you give them money and you give them these seeds, as they call it, oh, you'll be rewarded. You'll get more prosperity. All of those kind of things. And we all know that those are not true. But, well, maybe we all don't know that. Because there's people that do give money. Sadly enough, you don't get the reward. You know, there's one person or one cat in particular that I want to talk about. It sort of kind of made it a life mission to take advantage of people. Now there's a bunch of people that do it, but I want to talk about the one that I think is the funniest. Now maybe you haven't heard of the great Paula White. You know, the con artist from the pulpit. You give me some money. If you give me some money, I'll be able to cure you. I'm sure wherever I go, Jesus is there with me. You know that type. The type that just use themselves and throw Jesus' name in behind it so it sounds better for them. Oh boy. Well, I think the game's up. You know, the biggest problem I think we're going to have nowadays is that nobody's really going to want to buy into the cult-like nature of the major cults. People are going to want to decentralize the cultization, so to speak. Let me explain. Cults. Cults? Well, cults can be anything. You can have a people that start worshiping cell phones. People that start worshiping personalities. People that start worshiping refrigerators, cars, rare things, things on computers. Who knows? Everybody's going to have their own cult pretty soon. I got mine. And baby, I got plenty of fans. But I don't want any money. You see? That's too simple. And that's kind of getting boring and old. Well, what happens when you get people that use major ancient old cults like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism? What happens when you get people who use ancient codes and ancient traditions and ancient tongue-in-cheek things? Well, they tend to get a lot more attention, and you tend to get a lot more of the dinero, if you know what I mean. So, me, nobody's giving me 2 cents yet. But then again, like I said, I'm not about the money. Certainly don't know the word. Can't preach. Nope. All I can do is speak. And I know a con artist when I hear one. So Paula White, you're a con, baby. You're a con. And you know it. And let me tell you something. One of the biggest cults, Christianity, that's the biggest con ever. Now, you can have your own thoughts about whether the things happen or not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how people use it to fleece other people. You know, seems to be a big ordeal to always get a jet from these televangelists. They always brag about how many jets they got and how many millions of dollars they spent to buy the jet. I just hope one day I never am able to afford a jet. Because if I get a jet, I'm telling you, I'm ditching these wings. Look here. We're going to get your money back. I guarantee it. And a lot of these preachers from the pulpit preaching prosperity and taking your money, well, that's why you got me, the purple people's out. Because I'm going to get to the bottom of all these things. Yeah, who do we owe this money to? Who keeps getting my money? And stop preaching that stuff from the pulpit. It's crazy talk. None of it's true.